Welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a Kilt calculator, and we most recently have been working on a PleatDesigner. And one of the things we changed is the way we handle throwing exceptions. That we throw exceptions rather than produce error values for many cases. There's still some cases where we do the error values. We'll decide about those. But first, we've got some red marks from an update we did yesterday at the end of the day. So let's clean that up. All right. I'm going to run, whoops. I'll run the tests here. I moved back to my office. I don't know. I guess I can turn this on. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. All right. This is not so critical, but we have some red compilation errors, I think. Well, maybe not. I don't know, it's taking a while. I don't think that's the one I want to move over. Okay. Wow. I don't know what's going on there. While this does that, I'll clean up the stupid spaces. Well, I think that'll mostly help. Oh, no. Apparently that's not a good way to do it. Okay. The editor's supposed to be doing its job. I don't know. While that test takes its time, like you'd think between the editor and the formatter, one of them would take care of this. Okay, now that seems... I thought I did a pull. Yes, I don't care about those. Oh, wait a minute. I thought let's see. Let's find value. Yeah, going back to my old machine is even harder than it should be. Oops. Okay, so I'm definitely missing something. Hang on. I guess I gotta fix this too. Well, this is weird. I don't know if I can show it enough to see anything. Probably not really. I've got red marks all on the edge there. But it thinks it checked in, but it doesn't seem to show it. Yesterday, make value parse throw. So, am I doing the poll wrong? No. Where do I think I am? Okay, this is just too weird. Okay, so extension value parse, let's error string as string. Okay, so value, let's find parse. What? Let's try this. I don't know. Well, that's better. All right, let's switch to this. Something's really weird. Okay, let's see expression. Yeah, we did operands.push, try value.parse pending. Okay, that's expression. That was up here. Try value.parse pending. Okay. Oh, I keep losing that. How annoying. Okay. Value.parse pending. Same thing down on digit. Well, that's very similar. Just a try. Okay. Expression like 56. Try. Value. We made parse throws, line 195. Parse throws. Okay, now why? Expression. Why is PleatDesigner all happy? Sorry, let me check the value. this had throws at some point. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to waste too much time. On the other hand, I mean, it may be better to just fall forward if I can figure out where I'm falling from. All right, let's make sure I'm on main. I'm up at the top. Okay. Yeah, should switch to itself. Okay, no changed files. All right. So value, we made parse able to throw. Where's parse able to throw? Let's see who calls this. I don't think there's very many places. All right, yeah, this is it. Okay. Valued up parse. So you build up, the calculator builds up an expression with feet and inches and slashes and all that stuff, numbers, and decodes it as a value. Okay, let's check out PleatDesigner. Let's check out our to-do. What are we saying we're supposed to be doing? Handle parse designers. Oh yeah, we were doing this error stuff. Okay, it comes back. Let's do a run. Okay, and this I can squeeze onto our window. Okay, now to make things more fun, I'm not actually seeing my stream come through. Oh, I see messages too. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's, there were some, well, I guess there still are some holes in my ceiling because they had to do some work. And so they're patching the ceiling and trying to protect everything. And it's a multi-day process because they have to, they're repainting that textured stuff on and couldn't do it this morning. So they're going to try again tomorrow. Did I push everything and fetch and pull? I believe I did. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens here. Okay, so we did a lot of stuff to go like 20x. All right, and we would like a message. If I hit tab, it's going to do 20. Okay, 20 inches. We would like, when it sees 20x, we'd like a message there, and that's, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Okay, so text field is clearly calling value.parse. Well, it's calling our inches parser, so that's down in here somewhere. Down at the bottom, I think. So we're calling this value format style thing, which can parse or display. And, sorry, pause that. All right. It can parse or display. So I think what's happening is it parses every time you type a character, and if it's happy, let's put a set in. Okay, so it's happy. I'm gonna make it a 2, and notice it's updating it as it goes, and then bloop, something weird happened. It's still, I don't even know what it thinks it's doing there. Why does that X change this from 12 to 12 inches? Okay, part of this, I mentioned before, we might need another format thing that takes implicit inches, and every number it gets, it converts it to inches and displays it without the inches. Okay, but at any rate, this is a legit thing. Now this 23x, I don't know, it's doing some sort of evaluation. Okay, but the deal is, like, we don't control it. And when I hit tab, it says, I'll take the 23 that was valid and use that. Okay, I'll hit tab, and it does. So, I'm not sure what to think. Also, number of pleats should not be inches. It should be an actual plain integer. But at any rate, so you type a character, it parses it. If it parses, it just keeps going, but it's not committed yet. And then if you type something illegal, it says, "Oh, that doesn't parse." It throws an exception. I'm gonna, I'll let you keep typing. Yeah, that's a good question. All right, so I think it's gonna go to 23. Okay, right now it says X, and if I tab out, 23 was the last value it had. No, it's nil. Okay, so I think the process is you type something. If you type something good, it parses that and says, "Okay, I'm tentatively got that value," and it updates other fields. If you type something illegal, I think it's going like, I don't think this is good, but maybe you're going to get there, because like 23 plus 5 slash, well, that's an error now, but it becomes valid when I put the 8 in. Okay, and so it, yeah, it's something's, and I hit tab, it's going to put a big dot instead of the little dot. That's how we show fractions. Okay, so right, so the process is read something good, send it around, but you're not committed yet, but you're still updating everybody else. You're tentatively committed. Maybe you are committed. Get something bad and you go like, "Oh, something's going wrong. I probably shouldn't propagate this yet." Okay, and I think let's see, 20, well, 11 gets propagated. If it was 112, it gets propagated. 11, I hit the X, nothing changes. Well, that's not quite true, is it? Whoops. 11. Okay, if I hit the X, well, they update with that inches, which I don't particularly want, but I don't think they're not doing anything else. Now, at this point, 11 was valid. X is not. Let's do 11 slash. Okay, it's not a valid number, but if I type the 8, bang, everything goes. Okay, so I think there's a state that's going on that says like I had a valid number. Okay, I'll let you keep typing, but I'm not, I'm skeptical on this. Okay, so I think 11. I think when I type that slash, I think it's releasing the 11 as a valid value. No. Okay, the slash messes it up, and then eighths. Okay. But the problem I have is I don't. When could I catch that error the exception being thrown, that parse the inches parser when it sees 11 slash says, no, this is something's wrong. There's an exception. So it tentatively says there's nothing going on, but the text field gets that error, the exception. I don't. All right, now I saved a link yesterday, I think. with this. No, that's a Twitter link. Okay. Oh, there we go. Maybe it doesn't do any good to save a link. Extend UI with custom button. Well, maybe I should just research for it. So the deal was text field on changed is no longer active. We're supposed to do something else. Okay. Swift UI text field on change deprecated. Or was on change the one that's not deprecated? Okay, let's try this. I think we're in an experimental mode at this point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and catch the on change, and see if we can do something about it. Okay, so let's get to PleatDesigner, and I don't know. Maybe I got to do a new field. Well, where's my field? Oh, that's plate view. Thanks. The thing that's changing, I guess that's bound value. We're going to perform something. Okay. All we're going to do is print new value $0. Name change to that's the new value. Right. I think this is more what I want. Instance member on change requires binding conform to equatable. And bound value is, golly. Okay. How do I make value question mark conform to equatable? Optional. I guess maybe I can try extending equatable. Well. For a struct for an enum, can I say extension value question mark? that. Okay, that sort of implies if I didn't have it over there, it might work. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Take this off. Well, what I'm thinking I want to do is take the last value they send in, run the parser myself, and if there's an exception, then put that in the error message area. And so don't want the hit message. I want one that just says like, too many decimal points or something. Okay, here we go. Pitch. That doesn't sound good. Extension optional. Where wrapped is equatable. (2017). Well, it's oh. Does this work? Yeah. Optional route to protocol equatable. Types module Swift. Type wrapped constraint to non-protocol, non-class type. Yes. Wrapped optional wrapped value. Excuse me. Selects with this data type. There cannot be more than one conditional. I don't know. Wrapped of value. Okay, that's not allowed. Use wrapped equals optional. No. I don't think we're getting there. Unchanged. I don't think it matters that it's coming here. Cannot convert binding? That's funny. Does this get me to the value? No, it doesn't make sense even. Okay. Okay, it's not letting me do that there. I think I'm going to make another. I did an example. Okay, here's the example. Now, what if I do unchanged here? Change of my number. Perform this. Then we had old and new somehow. Really? One change of something, old value, new value. Maybe that's changed too. Initial false. Of value, initial false with action. Of value, initial false with action. Where are you messed up? Well, okay, you don't like that, but if I take this out, are you okay? They don't have that second one. Is this a beta? It is. Oh my goodness. Okay. On change of. This is also beta. So theoretically, like a month from now, this would work. Okay. Well, we don't have to see the old and the new, I don't think. Okay, so as I type, changing to 9. Interesting, the 8 is still there. I guess because numeric. It was printing out the value directly, so okay. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, I hate to inline all this stuff. On receive, yeah, that's the one we saw yesterday. So let's look at that. Is that the dollar my number? On receive perform requires binding of int conform to publisher. Binding of int. Oh, do I have to say published? I didn't think you had to. Add dollar on your published property and on receive. Well, my state is local, isn't it? Or is it? Designer.image. Is it that a dollar? Have I done those wrong? Should it be dollar? No. Oh, maybe. Let's make sure the other is. Can I convert value of published value to expected type binding of value? Oh man. Okay. Well, what do we got? This. Where's my example? On receive. Binding a bit conform to publisher. Maybe there's a better example. This seems okay. Well, he's got to be on the observable object. I don't know. Publishing for binding was squashed. Okay. One change it for form. Do your work in the closure. Sample code. Okay, state. Oh, pass through subject. Ah. One change. Subject. Yeah. Use publisher without $sign on the receive. Okay. Publisher without $sign on the receive. Now that's unhappy. Int conform to publisher. Value dot publisher. No, I don't think I know. Change of text. Perform. Well, I think we were getting killed because the optional stuff. Change only deals with it when you leave the text field. Okay, that's not what we want. On receive. The text dot publisher. I see what you're saying now. Okay. So my number dot publisher may not be available. At state var the text dot publisher. We have at state var my number. On receive, new val in, I'm okay. There's my text field. Okay, we don't even need the label. Well, maybe we do with format. No text field, text, dollar text, text field, value my number. Okay, a little different. On receive. I mean, theoretically, they both ought to be able to be plugged in. And then change of my number. Trailing closure does not accept a closure. Okay, let's see if it's, make sure it's happy now. Oh, did I get an extra? I did. Okay, that one's happy. That one's not. think this is what we're already seeing. Okay, 7 for X. Oh man. Just when you want it to be helpful, we don't get an on change. Well, okay. I mean, this is what it tells us, right? It doesn't call on change because it doesn't change. No, I don't think that presents a problem because I'm not. Well, let me change. Let me take it out. I don't think I have it on here, do I? No, my real ones I put the keyboard on, but this one does not. And even then, like it doesn't stop you from pasting or something like that. So okay, so on change, the value is not changed. The text in the field changes, but the value does not. Okay, and that's how it knows the last value. And did I already? And stops. Okay, I got commas now. That's that number format. It's nice. All right. So on change is not going to do the job because it's not changing with that. Oh, that's annoying. The one I can make work doesn't work. It doesn't give us what we want. Let's see. There's a number type. No, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure it's not sending out changes when it gets junk. Well, we can see it on title, so let me do that. Well, there's nothing illegal about it, right? So there's no limitation. Although this is now an object one, maybe there is going to be a difference. Okay, my name. Right, because there's no limitation. There's nothing you can do to make that illegal. Okay, I can try that. Well, I think that demonstrates the same thing. It's not going to restrict it because there's never a point where it decides it's illegal. Now it does say, this does say format number, so I may be wrong on that. Let's do what you suggest. Oh. Cannot convert value of one string to decimal format. Interesting. Well, I think what I take away from this is on change won't work because it only broadcasts changes when it's got a valid entity, a valid value. On receive might work if it does it without validating. Okay, so I don't know what to try though. On receive, my number.publisher. Trailing closure passed to form style configuration does not accept a closure. Form style configuration. I don't have my braces screwed up here, do I? I mean, this is that. So if we take away that, trailing closure passed to argument of form style configuration. Is this thing confused? I mean, we went around a bit trying to get the right version of text field, I will say. I don't know what this means. The form style configuration has a public struct with a type alias of never. Content of view. I don't know. Is there another way to get what we want? All right, let's see what we can do with text field. Title key. I mean, we have to have a format. Text title key value format. I don't need the prompt. Oh, that wasn't the one we're using. Okay, text prompt. Okay, we only want the ones that take formatter. That's the one we're using. Format, I'm sorry. Okay, there was a second one. Title key, value, format, and ignore the prompt. Title key. Value? Title key value format. Does that build? What do you think it'll call on receive? I mean, I think we sort of demonstrated it would not pass, non-valid digits around. But if will it call on receive? Maybe not. I mean, how does it publish a value when it's not a value? Okay, let's. change. No. Oh, this is the one we saw yesterday, I think. On switch IoT, you can do unchanged. Text validator can be used as a view model. On receive just value. Well, that's observed object. Binding to string, okay. No, that's not quite there. See, on change, we just saw that it doesn't seem to send the changes when it's not valid. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is sort of like what we want. Let's just text validator.text. Well, that's the object. What is just? He doesn't use format. Well, let's see if we can do the equivalent of this. And that doesn't work on. All right. And state object is the top level declaration. Okay, let's try. I want to try it on hip. If I just say just. Can I find just? Okay, it's their moment of truth, I guess. Okay, this was on the first one. Oh. So receive does not get it when it's not a valid number. Hip to hip is a value, capital V value. I mean, what if my fields were strings? Yeah, I mean, I can't store letters or slashes. Well, a slash could be in there if you were saying, 3 1/8. Okay, so if these were just strings, what would happen? I don't know. I mean, we've gone to a lot of work for not enough benefit. But no, I mean, typing 3239XXYYY, it ought to have a message. It shouldn't show up as being valid there. And then some unexpected thing happens if you click out or tab out. Okay, let's try. Okay, all right, let's make this. No, I'm going to make this. I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, enough of that particular mess. Okay, because on change and on receive want valid types. Okay. So let's make a field. I don't know how much I got to do here. I'm going to hard code stuff in. And make my own hip to hip field. Okay, labeled content. Can I just pass this in? Focus. I don't think it's happy. Yet another experiment. Do you like that? No. Okay. All right. Let's make the label is hip2. The value is $designer dot I don't think it's not dollar designer. I think it's designer dot dollar hip string, which doesn't exist. Okay. And then text is the label, which was hip 2. And the message, what was the message? Designer.hip error. Focus was my old nemesis. Whenever it doesn't like anything, it gives me that silly message. Trailing closure. Okay, so that was all this. Okay, so that's all right. Okay. Return some view. Okay, field 2 is all hard-coded. Designer. Value has, oh, hip string does not exist. Okay, let's go to designer was PleatDesigner. Okay, so I'm putting that on here. It's my field 2. Has no dynamic member hip string. Taken off the format. Yeah. Okay. I don't want a formatter. I've already got a text field. What does it look like? Text field, title, text. Not calling field 2 yet. I'll leave that there for a minute. Yeah. Okay, we'll run this. I should get a string for hip string. Okay. And I can type anything in that. All right. 2. Hip measures required. I don't think that's a real problem at this point. Okay. I think let's take a break. I don't know. I'm hoping this works, but what I'm going to try is a set on hip, and if it's not a legit value, it's going to set its error message. If it is legit, it's gonna set the actual underlying hip to hip variable to whatever value that gets out. It's an awkward way to do it, but I'm not seeing a way to get that information that this thing is, the text is changing, but the value is not. And I don't know if we can get the text back out. All right, so 3 or 4 minute break, and we'll come back and see if we can get this string working and updating our hip to hip measure as well. All right, see you in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. Let's see, we can. So what are we going to do? I'm going to make this work, and then I'm going to revert and then make it work right. Let's see. So Pleat view and PleatDesigner. Okay, so now we got hip string. Right, it'll need to be published. And then I think we're going to say did set. Okay. Let me just make sure we're getting everything. Old value. Okay, so as we type, this should update 993.4x/. All right, okay, we're getting everything we want to know. Except I don't think old value, I thought old value and value. Can I get new? Did set. Oh. Well, I don't care about old value, I guess. I just thought it was there. I thought did set got old value and the value itself. Apparently that's, oh no, wait a minute. 993 was 993. 993 point was, okay. Oh, that's that double edit thing. Okay. Okay, that's working. It's just it gets called twice because that's the way the text field works. It gets the value, prints it, rereads it, and makes sure it's the same, or at least updates it. Whether it checks the same, we don't know. All right, so now if somebody sets this thing, all right, so we can say value.parse of old, well, hip to hip of hip string. Let's do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to catch error as string. All right, so if it doesn't parse, we're going to set hip message. Hip error. Oh, the old exhaustive catch thing. How annoying. In a way, that's kind of a can't happen, at least we hope. Cannot assign hip error is a get property. All right, let's make a hip string error for now. No, that's not. Yet another field. How about private var hip error message? Starts out empty. Okay. All right. We don't need to care about this, I don't think. Okay, but if it parses, we want to clear the message. Okay, and these are the only two places it gets set, so I think we control that all right. Hip string error then is going to just be hip error message. Okay. Computed property must have an explicit type. Okay, so we got hip string. Every time they set it, we try to parse. Well, I guess I want to assign hip. Okay, so we parse our string. If it works, we assign it to hip measure and clear the error message. Now, hip measure, we have our own problems. Let's see, assign the value to measure. Okay, I guess such a delay. All right. All right, so we set hip to hip measure. The problem I have then is I want this to be I want this to apply. So I don't remember even what happens if I do 0 here or -7. Okay. Well, I want to make it, I'm going to say hip error. Because it might be nothing, right? Sorry, this equals our current hip error. Okay, and let's see that thing displayed. Field 2, okay. I think we're doing it. All right, let's run it with field 2. Okay, so this could be 6.1 dot. Oh. Why are you not complaining? All right, let's. Hip string. 6.1. It's not displaying it yet, but that's okay. We'll continue. Continue. Okay. Now, dot 6.1 dot step over. Okay. We might not have it yet. Okay. Step over. Oh, I'm not showing hip error message. Field 2. Whoop. Oh, hip string error. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Okay. Oh, let's turn this off. Because it's just going to work, right? One. Oops, continue. 1.3 dot. Bingo. Okay. There is a way out. All right. Now, notice hip is being set. All right. This is moderately interesting. Okay, let's make it a 5 so we do the fractions in our head. All right. So hip is being set. Something goes wrong. It's being left where it was because we're not updating hip to hip measure until we get more valid stuff. Now, we're not going to show hip to hip rear. Okay. 5/8. Okay. And then tab should put the bullet. No. Hmm. One and 10/16. The value there is fine. Can I set hip string? 10/8. 1 10/8 is 2 2/8. Yes, that's true. But 80ths. So can I update myself in this? That's an interesting question. Yeah. That's the trick. But I guess we can say if. All right, if you say, let's say hip string equals hip to hip measure dot formatted dot inches. Okay, I think that'll give us the infinite loop we're looking for. Oh. Original type must be unwrapped. Value dot parse. If it's nil, if it doesn't parse, it comes out. Okay, now, well, I'm doing that, but because we know it must have parsed and set it if we get here. All right, I don't think we're quite. I think this will be an infinite loop. If not, we can compute it and then check that we're still different. Okay, 1.2. There you go. Okay. Let's be a little safer. Let new value equals this. Whoops. Oh, he's finally crashing. Equals new value. Okay, so we update hip to hip. If it throws an exception, we put the error message out. If it doesn't, then we get the message. We check its constraints, and then we compute the new value. If the new value is not the same, we'll take the new value in preference. I think that may give us the thing. You could still get an infinite loop if your formatter didn't quite handle the same format as your thing, or I don't know. I think there's a way. Okay, no value found. So this is one I was kind of afraid of. If it's no value found, we don't really have an error or anything yet. And we want to say hip measure is required. Okay, that's one problem. 3.5. Whoa. 3 point by itself is not legal. /8. What? If it's empty. Yeah, maybe it just shouldn't do anything if it's empty. Well, it should put this in. Okay, what's going on? XXX A B C K 7. Whoa. No, I can't delete those. Oh. 3 feet. We're trying to be clever. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't validate it. It shouldn't parse if it's empty. Let's move this down. This should at least prevent the no value found thing. But this other thing is really interesting. I don't know why it's happening exactly. Hip dip measure is a value. Like, how does it know that it's expecting inches there, right? Because our inches parser doesn't assume inches; it just accepts inches. Okay, so if the we'll get this. So this should give us our message about hip is required. If it's empty, we're just going to return though. Then we're going to try and parse it, and then we're going to do this new value thing that's messing things up. Okay, so run. I'm disappointed that the formatting thing is not any better for us. Okay, why did that not show up in the first place? Maybe the hip message needs to, it's only running after it's set, so we probably need to start with the message. Okay, we'll try again. And I'm really pushing through, even if this is getting a little junky, because we got the pattern for a number of fields. All right, so now we get that to start with. If you type something and delete it. Oh, why is that message not there? It's the simplest thing. Text field really could stand to make this better. Give us something, give us an on typed thing or something. Okay. What's happening is the message it started off hip measures required. We typed an 8 and it said hip error. Well, the hip error checks that it's empty. It's not empty because it's 8. Okay. Is it empty? No, don't return. Go ahead and set the hip value to 8 and carry on. All right. But when I hit delete, now hip string is empty, but we're not checking it first. We're checking it here. Oh, golly. I mean, if it's empty, hip error message Well, we haven't changed hip to hip yet. Okay, so this can't happen until after the new value is computed. And maybe here is where this goes. Go ahead and compute it. No, that's not going to be right. I mean, if we come in and hip string is empty, then value.parse gets no value found. So there's no chance because it'll find value, value not found will get generated and caught at this moment. All right, let's move this back up. Okay, if it's empty, well, what's got to happen? Well, then hip to hip measure is nothing, is nil, and maybe not helping anything. Yeah, set hip to hip and nil if the string is empty. All right, and then we've still got to do this. All right. If we come in and it's empty, then we clear out hip to hip. We set the message to whatever hip error should be, which is like you need a value. And hip to hip measure, then we try and establish it. If it's not empty, we try and establish it. We capture the error message from that value, and then we try and update ourselves. Okay, I think we're slowly getting to the the focus of this, and I want to do this in a way that it applies to each one. So this is a little tricky. Okay, so if I type 8, that's a valid hip value. 8 delete, it should be back to required. All right, 8. Now I don't know what's going on here. I type 8 point. I think what's happening is we're coming in twice, as it does, and our 8 and 8 point format the same. I really don't want to know anything about the format to do this decision making. If it's 8 point, 8 point, the point gets in hip to hip string says, oh, I see you. Let me format that. It comes back 8. And it says, that's not the same as what I had. I had 8 point. The problem is, I think we accept it. Now, if I do 8 slash, that's that. Maybe I'm wrong to accept 8 point by itself. I don't know the right way around that. Okay, but we're catching other errors. So this is too many slashes. I think I'm, let me look for that. No, I did leave out a parend. Well, we'll add this to our to-do list. Okay. Pleat view. I don't know. The best way to get around this now is, I mean, I could make that dot required. Actually, it's making the digits required after the dot. What's that saying? It's saying my format, my formatted output can't have any legit characters in it. I'm sorry, can't. I think it's saying the prefix of any valid input has to be a valid output for something first. Point. I don't know. Yeah, and we need the decimal point, so there's no way around it. Oh man. But the place that changes, right? That's in like value parser or value parse strategy. Okay. We accept digits. Well, let's see. Is this okay? Yeah. So parse number. We take, we check for too many decimal points. Well, we check for too many slashes, too many decimal points. Otherwise, we have just a number match. This optional. If I leave it in its required, I think I'm. Oh boy. Well, okay, don't copy the value from measure. Yeah, let's see what we can do there. Well, I think we're saying there, it's not did set. Maybe that's our on, no. That's when we leave focus, right? Let's say that. Yeah. No, I think we can get to the knowledge of when we lose focus. Okay, let me make sure we still have what we think we have. No, it's not on change. It's or it is. It was, but they've changed it. Okay. So it says hit measures required. This delete hit measures required. 3.5 slash complaints 8. Okay. I mean, that's okay as far as it goes. What I would like is when I hit tab, I'd like it to look like hip to hip rear. But that's, we can do that over here. Pleat view. Field 2. Okay. label text field. Focused field equals hip to hip. Yeah, it's something with this focused. Binding equals value. Focus condition state boolean. Yeah, I know we saw something on this. This may be the old way. Yep. Here we go. On focused. On change of is focused. Okay. I think that is. Yeah, this is focus state. Huh. Yeah, I guess I kind of agree. It would have been easier the other way, but all right. But anyway, pleat view focused on change of focused field is focused in instance method on change of perform requires focus state binding conform to equatable focused field. I don't know if I don't need the dollar. No. Pleat field is okay. Of perform requires that focus state pleat field question mark. I think maybe this is supposed to be focused field. Is that? Yeah. Of, whoops, wrong one. Of focused field is focused. Well, yeah, I'm not happy about that totally. Okay, I got too many unedited videos lying around. Okay, on change of focus field. Yes, that's what we're after. Okay, is focused. Okay, I guess if not is focused, we want to set pleat view pleat field is focused equals nil. Sorry, what type are you? Pleat field question mark equals so I think I'm saying if it changed, well, let's print focus moved and let's try and assign sorry, focused field. Changes no effect. Okay. We want to say designer.hipstring equals I think okay. Invalid. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it really can happen or not, but I got to get through this extended spike. All right. So we're going to notice that we're moving away from so I don't know if this is really right. Okay, let's find out. I feel like this on change focused field is managed across them. I don't think that's what we want. All right, so 3.5 tab did not print, did not do anything. I think I'm stuck. Okay. Yeah, layout constraint stuff is with that keyboard. That's nothing we can do anything about here. Okay. Why did you not change? Focused. Now this one I think is assigning it. The binding sets the bound value to the matching corresponding value. I don't know. Yeah, so you must have been around for my sort table thing then. I think that was kind of half and half UI Kit and Swift UI. But yeah, I switched over to UI Kit. Sorry, to Swift UI almost for everything at this point. I it seems to be the way the world is going, and I'm just as happy to live with the limitations. Although driven to disaster today, but welcome back. All right. So what we're trying to do is we've got this field that represents a measurement we want, and if it's not there, we want to put a red box around it and give the message, not his measure, hit measure is required. If we type something, we want to use it. If it's illegal, we want to notice that. So 3.5 slash, now we allow 5/8 to be 3 and 5/8 to be written that way. This hip to hip rear is the original approach, and we're kind of spiking around slash stumbling around trying to get this to work the way I want. The where we are is okay, but it doesn't update with that little mid dot that kind of, instead of a decimal point, it's a little bullet or mid dot. We'd like it to be when you move fields, like I just hit tab, that it says, oh, I guess you're done with that now. Let's format it and be happy. So I don't know why. Well, something's wrong here on the focused text field. I think he's supposed to set focused field. Okay, is a pleat field, which is one of these. Oh, which is also not. Let's add this hip to and make use of that. I think maybe I'm moving off the wrong field. Okay. Now the other thing is, I don't know if on change of focused field, I also wonder if that just generically sits out there or if it really is attached only to this entity. Okay, but we definitely need our own. Oh, and I need a I don't know why they had this. Okay, 3.5/8. Move. Okay. Focus moved can't happen. All right. That's progress for you. Okay, so if we move away from hip 2, we get focus moved. Now we tried to parse the hip string. Hip 2 equals, let's get this. Okay. Designer dot. All right, and then I'm trying to parse it and then format it. But it can't happen. Okay, and we'll stop here at some point. Okay, let's try that. Need to change the focus hip to hip. I don't think so, because hip to hip is still a regular old field, and those things they pass in their focus that they want to change to when they get tackled. So I think hip to hip is still managing. I'm not as clear I'm not as clear on the need for these. I'm not sure they're doing anything. All right. So 3 5/8, and now I want to break where I was. Okay. So if I hit tab, where am I? Something's funny. Why am I not? Okay. Well. Oh, first time in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm definitely crashing on this one, or I'm getting here. Okay. It's just, I don't know. It's far more work than it needs to be. Line 49. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Try that again. Okay, so I'm here. If I tab out, I should hit this line and not stop. Okay, I'll tab back. All right, now 3 5/8. If I tab out, I should stop on 53. Okay. What? Oh, okay. That's just on his way out. All right. So when I let this go, it should change it to that mid dot. Okay. Wow. Oh my. Okay. I've pretty well mutilated everything around this. Okay, so we have hip, we're going to have hip string. Hip measure is the real value that gets used in computations. Now, I don't know if we can, if we need to make it nullable or not. Okay, I suspect we could define the message for this. I guess what I'm thinking, like, what happens when I have 6 of these, or at least 2, 3, because the first 3 fields are required. Well, gosh, it's a lot of. I definitely don't want to repeat this every time. And yet, I mean, you got to know the hip string. You got to go to the hip measure, hip error message, hip error string. Like, it's too much. So why am I not just making a public string? Okay, let's do that. What time we got here? Okay, yeah, I think if we try and simplify this solution, then Monday we will figure out a way to apply it across them. So, okay, so hip error message, I want to get rid of that. I'm going to make this public, I'm going to make this private set. I think that's the way you do it, right? Make sure this still builds. Private set modifier can not be applied to read-only properties. Okay. Equals string. Well, let's just change it. Okay, it didn't complain about the rest. Okay, let's start it off with the message. Okay, now hip error message. This is going to be hip string error. Whoops. Hip error message equals hip string error. No, I've messed it up already. Doesn't take long. Okay, so this was hip error message. So anybody who assigns a hip error message should really assign hip string error. Okay, now this can go away. I'll keep this calm for a moment. Okay. All right, this should run the same. Okay. 0.5//1/8. Okay. Nothing there gets an error. Shift format. Okay. That's one simplification. All right, let's get the hip stuff together. I'm gonna move this down. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. Let's try. Can we simplify anything else? I guess first. This empty stuff, is there a way around this? See, I think that is kind of like this. I don't know if we need to make required part of it. Hip error is like, why do we need both these, right? You know what I think? I almost think this hip error, and this is, in this case, it's a validation error. No, in this case, it's a validation error. I mean, I wonder if this thing. Yeah, I guess I'm wondering if this is what we should monitor, and it I don't know. It's like we want to know if it validates. Because in a way, it's kind of like we require it to be present, we require it to be valid, and we require it to be positive. And in a sense, those happen in that order. But it's the hip to hip measure. It needs both the string and the value to make sense of it. I guess that's the deal. Yeah. Can I move the validation? If the string is validated, it's a valid measure. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to maybe this can be that. Like who this should be the only error they need. And this almost applies here. So right now, if this, let's say we get a negative number, minus, interesting error, 7, No, we don't do minuses. That's why. 0. Okay, hip measure must be positive. That's coming out after a string is not empty. We parse it. It's a 0. We say the error. There's no parse error. Oh no, there's no parse error. So we go on to the hip to hip errors, which checks that it's positive. In effect, we've already checked that it's required. And I don't know if that's terrible. Yeah. I mean, I think what we're saying is the job of this did set is to its job is to set hip to hip and hip string error to cause those to be present. Now, if the hip string is empty, hip to hip measure is fine, but it's got to be set. Because this is the one we're looking at, but it really would like to look at this. Okay, so I guess I want to say, okay, if it's empty, hip measure equals nil, assigning that should take care of hip error. Do we need to return? I guess the thing is the view is going to want to display a simple error message. And if it's this, I mean, okay, let me try this. Yeah, I need it in 2 places. I don't like that. All right. If any error, well, let's just assign it. Let complete validation equal this. Okay. And now we could just return complete validation. Okay. I'll just run tests because we haven't run those in about 17 hours. Okay. But what I think should happen is if it's not empty, then return it. Otherwise, I want to return that other thing. Hip string error. Hip string error. Okay, now somebody should be complaining. Yeah, good. Okay, because I changed the way this all works. If, okay, you got nothing, hip measure is required. Oh, wait. Hip measure is required. The error message should be empty if the value is 20. Okay. But I don't think I'm hip string error. Let me call this hip validation error because I think hip validation error. Okay, make this clearer in my mind. Okay, so somehow we got hip measure is required. Well, I think that's wrong. Okay, I think that should start empty. And if it's empty, I think it should be empty. Let me see. So I'm saying that hip error is what should be shown in our view. I really don't like having this over and over. Hip error is empty return. Okay, where's hip error again? Hip. That was not the right thing to change. Hip string. This is hip error. Okay. Run this. We're getting to the end here. I guess we are at the end. All right, we'll find out. Okay, so, something. Oh. I'm not quite there. Oh. Maybe it does have to be. No, it does not. Hip error, if you come in with empty string, well, I guess the thing is we don't have a way to get hip error shown before things started. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop here. I'll leave us a note in the to-do to try and make me know what to do on Monday. But what I'm trying to do is say there's a validation string that gets tracked by this code, and then there's the hip error that tracks the actual hip measure value. And if there's no problem if there is a problem, I should say, if there is a problem with the validation from the Pleat validator, we should return it. But if there's a hip validation error is not empty string, we should return that. So I'm feeling like we're getting close. I mean, we got the editing we want, and we got the thing replacing with the formally printed value and all that. So I think the pattern can emerge. I got a feeling it's going to be all Monday before we get anything done on, well, I think we can get one of them done. The first one done will take a lot of time Monday. We may be able to get the others done as well, but it's, I don't know, it's hard to get the right pattern for this. I mean, now they got macros in the new version. This might be a good macro, but anyway. So we'll pick up there Monday, 2 to 4:30 Eastern and 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Let's see. Did you miss to replace the last hip validation error? It's a good question. Hip error. Yep. Oh. Okay. We'll run it one more time. Anyway, Monday, 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. And okay, thank you. Oh, your eye is always so good. 3.5. Whoops. 3. Okay. There's some logic messed up there. All right. Anyway, see you Monday, I hope, and have a good weekend regardless, and take care. Bye-bye.